Okay guys, welcome back. So I've been able to add more data to the database. So I've added 6 datas. Okay, so far let me see if I can add another one. Yeah, 8 datas now. So I can go back to my projects, and right now, okay, so for fetching the data, I'm going to go back to the home page. And this is actually going to be the main way that the data are going to display, more like this list view and this list style. So what I will do, I'm going to copy it. Okay, so I'll move it out. So in order to display this data, I'm going to be using. Okay, I've already copied this stuff out. I've already cut this stuff out. So I'll be using Stream Builder because I just want to be listening to the changes. Okay, but in your case, you might decide to use Feature Builder, so you just listing once, and then the next listening is only when the user refresh the page. But with Stream Builder, while the user is on the page, if there's any changes, immediately it's going to reflect on the list and just update everything for you. Okay, so I will be using Stream Builder for this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just remove this stuff, and the first thing I want to do is to, okay, let me just comment this first. The first thing I want to do is to create the collection reference. So go to DB helper. So we have this notes. No, this first collection. So I'm going to copy it. Okay, and go to home page, and I'm going to put the collection here. So this is actually the first collection we are going to read from, where our data are. So I'm also going to enter deeply inside as well to actually get the data. So for that, I also need the user ID. So I'm going to copy this instance as well, and I'll paste it here. Okay, like so. So inside the Stream Builder, now what I'll do, okay, this is actually, I'll just make it the course constructor. Yeah. Okay, so what I'll do now, inside this body, I'm going to wrap it with a Stream Builder. Sorry, I'm going to return show a Stream Builder, and the Stream Builder now takes a builder and also a stream. So the stream basically is going to be coming from this, I'll call it DB collection. So DB collection dot the doc, which is the inner part where this stuff is stored, which is this part. This is the collection. No, this is the collection, and this is the docs. So from the doc, we are now going to get the my notes as well. Okay, so what I'll do, I'm just going to set the doc, which is going to come from the user, which is this user ID. Okay, dot UID, and now I'm going to have another one dot collection. So where I'm going to get it from. So this last collection will be my notes. Okay, make sure the name is correct, and I'm going to say my notes like so, and dot snapshots. Yeah. Okay, so that way now we're going to listen to the changes, and now I'm going to return a builder. So builder is basically where we're going to be the widget. So the builder takes two stuff. So the first one is the contest, and the second one is the snapshot. Okay, like so. All right. So they check if the snapshot dot has data. So if it has data, so we want to return our normal widget. So that widget we want to return is no. If snapshot dot has data, I'm going to check inside again to see if the data is empty or not. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that one that way first. Else if snapshot dot has error, so if there's any error while fetching the data, so I'm just going to return center widget, and I can just maybe return a child. So okay, so then if else, so that means there is no data, so basically just return a simple center widget with a cycle progress to do. So we are actually going to focus here now. Okay, so what I will do now here, inside here, I'm going to check if this snapshot is actually empty or not. Okay, to check if it's null or not. Okay, like if there's data inside, so I will check if snapshot. Okay, I think I didn't spell that properly. So if snapshot dot data dot docs, so I should be able to access docs dot is empty. Okay, so if it's empty, docs just okay. The reason why I can't get this getter docs is because I am not using, I'm supposed to use something like using the correct type. This one is an async snapshot with object, so it's not supposed to be object. I think try query snapshot to see, because it will really give us, okay, query snapshot it is. So here now I'm going to use, you can see now is actually a sync snapshot, query snapshot, but I don't want that object to be there. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this, okay, and paste it here, which is the type. So I'm giving it a type now so that it will be easier for us to read from it. Okay, so I'm going to remove the object, and now I can see now the docs is here. So I'll check if the if the snapshot has data, that it has finished processing and it has returned something. It can be empty or whatsoever, but now I need to also check if it's actually empty. So if it's empty, what I'm going to do is just to return a simple center widget. So I'm going to return a simple center widget and call this one, is to have a child of test. So I will say no notes added. So you haven't added any notes yet. So just say no notes added yet. So that way the user can now click on this button. Sorry. The user can now click on this button to actually add a new note. Okay, so I'll just leave it that way. So just know you can actually add image or whatever you want to add just to make the page look cool. Okay, so now if the snapshot of data the docs is empty, then I will just return no data. Else, then this is where we do the work. And now what I will do is just to return maybe a container, or instead of a container, I will just return a list view. So this is actually where we return our normal data. Okay, yeah, a list view. So I'll have children. So these children, now I'm going to get it. Okay, let me just do it this way. Okay, so we're going to have dot. We'll use the spread operator to use another list inside on that list. So I'll use, because the snapshot actually returns a list. Okay, so I'm going to use snapshot.data. Okay, dot docs. No docs. Okay, dot map. Okay, so I can now map through it. So the data now will be returned inside this E. So I can just call this one to be data. Okay, so the data is actually inside the E. Alright, so the data are stored there now. But for now, let me just return a simple list. Okay, list view. Right? Snapshot the data. Okay, so I'll just return. Let me just return a test. Or instead of a test, let me return our normal widget that was copied, because now we know that there is data inside. So I'll just return this stuff. Right now it's actually dummy data. Okay, so we are now actually returning the main data. I'm just going to put the dummy data there first, then later I'll show you how to retrieve those data. So I'll return this stuff and then close it here. So you can see if snapshot dot, if it's empty, it will show this one, but if it's not empty, then you should now check this and then return the list view. So the list is going to be whatever the numbers are. So in this case now we have how many to dos. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 datas, 9 nodes inside this to do. Okay, and you can see each of them have their body, time, and title. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now, just to do a hot restart, and you see this stuff now showing in our application. Okay, so let me do a hot restart, and you should see it's still going to show like this, but in this case now we're only having 7 or 9 items. It should be 9 nodes. So okay, 9. You see that loading indicator, that means it was not ready, and once it's ready, it's now going to return this. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now you see we have 9 items. So let me add another one. You will see that this stuff increments to 10. So I will go back here and add this. Add this as well. So I will save it, and once it's saved, I will go back. You will see now we have 10 issue right here now. If I actually screw, we cannot see like the delete button of this last item. So I need to add a cycle. That was why I use this list and use the spread operator. Okay, so this way now it will allow us to actually display a text below and also above this list view. Okay, most times you can just do it this way, which is not actually the best method I would recommend. You can do it this way and then convert this stuff now to let's say to list. and this is not actually nice, because if you do it this way now, there is no way that we can show item before and after now, except we just use there's no way actually. So what we do, that's why I normally use this method. So now we have the spread operator. We can also put another list here if you want, still using the spread operator as well. But for here now, I'm going to use the size box to just give it a height so that that stuff is going to show. And now you can see we can actually scroll up and see the last item. Yeah, so you can see that now there's space. You can see. All right, so we are good to go. So what I want to do now is to retrieve these data one after the other. So the first thing I will do, I will say final title, and I will call it data.get. Yeah, so .get, make sure you know the feed name. So the feed name here is title, body, and time. So I'm going to call title. Okay, make sure you show your app. Sorry, I'm going to show my app. And this node title, now I'm going to pass it here. So instead of using nodes title, that stuff is going to change to the normal title that are in the database. Okay, so let me save this. Now you see that we have the titles. Yeah, so these are the titles inside the DB. And now I'm going to do the next one. The time, I think I need to format this to a string. So what I'll do, I'll just get the time first. The time, yeah. And then this last one is going to be body. Okay, I will say .get and body. Yeah, so these are the three feeds inside our DB that I'm retrieving: body, time, and title. Okay, so those are what I'm retrieving. So right now I'm going to put the time. The subtitle is going to be the time. Yeah, from my UI you can see it's actually the time. So I need to actually make this to be a string, if not it's going to break the app. So I'll put a time. So yep, and then this delete button we can just leave it like so. And now I have, don't worry about the image, it's going to be a normal image because you were the one that added the stuff. Okay, so the body is going to be the body basically, once we click on it, is going to take us to another page where we're going to view the items. Okay, or I can just decide to put it here. Okay, instead of creating additional pages, let me just, or I'm going to show you how to send data to the next page. So I'm just going to, once you click on it, we're going to receive it from the other end. Okay, so just for you guys to learn. So these are the time. You can see the time is not really nice because we need to format this stuff properly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the int package to format this right now, and then I'm going to stop here for now. Okay, so in the next video I'm going to continue where we're going to format it and also display this stuff in the next page. Okay,